Hey everyone, thought I'd share a little update of where I'm at with the truck, what I've done, all that good stuff. So last video, you guys, whoever did see it or followed, you see that I had the 35s on the stock F-150, or almost stock, have the front level on it. Since then, those are sitting over there. So those were on the stock sport wheel, 18, I think they're like by 9. And then I put the 35 by 12 and a halves mud tires, Lionheart's, pretty aggressive. Honestly, great tire for how cheap it was. Really no complaints. It's road noisy. It's it's kind of vibrates a little bit, on the highway and all that stuff. But I mean, to be expected, right, with an MT. For myself, personally, I drive a lot. So in 1 year, I've done 40,000 miles. So it was definitely made sense for me to go to the all-terrain. So new setup, just to break it down. So I got 20 by 12s. I went with the red dirt roads, deep lips. So the lip, man, I'd say it's probably 6 inches or something like that. I'm a pretty big guy. I'm 6'2", so I mean, you see my hand sits right in that lip. These are -44 offset, so they pop out, I'll say about 3 inches. Show you guys that. So popping out now about 3 inches, and then just see the stance, a little wider, a little aggressive. I like it. So from the old setup to the new, I did have to actually come in and trim a little more. So everybody always asks, what do you have to cut, what do you have to trim to be able to fit? For one, it was the 35s, which I did have to come in and cut, so I showed on the last video. But actually, even from stepping from the 35, and these are actually BF Goodrich 305 55 20s, which these are KO2's. These, I guess, size is probably about 33. It says 33.2 by 12.4. So from 35 to 33s, but because of the negative offset now, before with the spacer, those were like a -12. So I was like evenly flush. Now you see these pop out about 3 inches, so I actually had to cut more. So before, I just had to cut the crash bar, tuck this in with a clip right there, a zip tie. So zip tie, cut that, and I was pretty much good to go. I cut some of this stuff with the 35s right here. But now that I pop out so much more, when I go full tilt, I had to actually come in now, and I had to cut all this bottom plastic out. And it pretty much ends up being almost flush with this piece, but no more rubbing right there. Where I do still rub though, at full tilt regardless, and there's nothing I can really do about that, and I'm not really sweating it too much, is actually when it goes full tilt, if you see this painted piece, actually this is metal, that when the tire turns, it still rubs on that a little bit. But honestly, the drive's great. Miles per gallon went up just a little bit. I went from like a 12 point, I don't know, 5 mile per gallon, 13 mile per gallon, to now I'm like 14 and a half, almost 15 mile per gallon. So that was good. What I will say is, from driving, it was about a 20 mile drive from getting the installation 2 days ago, and I hadn't done alignment yet. My actually miles per gallon dropped. So on this setup, it went from, I was doing like the 12 and a half, 13 mile per gallon on the 35s. I switched to these, drove home. My mile per gallon shot down to 12, so that sucked. I just got the alignment this morning, and now I'm doing, I don't know, I think the truck said 14.7, 15 mile per gallon. So that's awesome. Just from the alignment, it took me right back up. And what it threw off is my toe. My toe was like -20, so we got that adjusted. Show you guys. I'll also show you guys just what I do have. So I have the full LED conversion, so I'll show you guys that. Show you guys my mileage. So a year I did 40,000 miles. That's why it did make sense for me to go all terrain. It's showing 14 mile per gallon, but when I pulled up, I've started the truck a couple times just sitting here messing with my tire. I chopped that plastic, so it dropped to 14. But I want to say that's probably not accurate, because I only drove from getting the alignment to here about 5 miles. So got to drive it a little more, see what I'm realistically getting. but as you can see, from 12.5 it improved, so I'm not too disappointed with that. I mean, I'll take anything I can get. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the I'm gonna put a filter on there, you know, air intake, my exhaust, and I'm probably gonna get a flash tune, see if I can get a little more power, save a little more mile per gallon. So hopefully you can see my light conversion. You can, but you can't see the fog. Let's see why. All right. Okay. There we go. All right. So you can see bright white. Truck's filthy. Sorry guys, it's been raining out here. Clearing up finally, so I will give her a wash. But I wanted to show you guys the upgrades and what I got. So full LED conversion, fogs, popping out 3 inches now. So again, the setup is 20 by 12s, negative 44 offset, 305/55 BFG KO2's on just a front level. So a 2.5 inch rough country front level. From my understanding is they don't sell that kit anymore. They only sell a 2-inch front level now for this truck. So I don't know, can't really speak on that, but I could say what I got when I got it way back when. But yeah, man, it's the end of the video. Hope you guys like what you see. I guess lastly, actually, before I do cut this video short, people probably want to see tire tilt. So let's go. Alright. So based on my cutting and what I did, right? So people want to see from the front. It's so tight, guys. Like, it's so tight. But I didn't have to cut. The only thing I did have to cut, you see this little plastic valance right here, or whatever you want to call it. I did have to come in and cut up here on the top, which no big deal, but I cut a little bit. You can't even notice it actually, but I did have to cut some. Not anything in the front. Now I'll tilt it the other side. This is where all the cutting happened, is the back though, and you can even hear that. So see that little clip right there? I'm still hitting that thing, you know. I guess it comes with territory. I want to go wide offset, I want wide wheels, I want a certain look. Can't have it all. So even with cutting, I could probably bang the shit out of that. I really don't want to. So in fact, I'm getting a little bit of rub right there. I'm not sweating it, you know. To each is their own. If you feel like you want to bang that in, go for it. But this is what I did. This is my truck, and I just want to show you guys. So any other questions out there, I know I had a ton, and I kind of just had to wing it and go for it. But trial and error, and hopefully this helps you guys. Take care.